Close off. They say silence is golden, huh? We got some silence now. Woo! Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about an arm workout. Now, of course, I'm going to put something in the title like Get Scary Big Arms this October. But you know you can't build scary big arms in just in October. You already know that. Come on, man. Let's try to have a little fun here. You know, it takes consistency. Consistency, you know that number one attribute you have to have. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so let's build scary big arms. So in this workout, this is, you know, it's kind of typical. I switch things up. I come at things from different angles, different ways just to stimulate the biceps and the triceps. Now, in the videos, you're going to see I don't really go very heavy on the tricep work. I go heavy considering I just did triceps yesterday, okay? And I did go heavy yesterday, so I do go pretty fucking heavy compared, you know, when you take that into consideration. But I could have gone heavier. I could have went really hard. And the other thing you won't see in here is one of my favorite builders. Now, it's not everybody's favorite mass builder. Everything don't work for everybody, right? Everything ain't for everybody. You be you, I'll be me. How about that? Let's try that shit and let everybody else be them. World be a hell of a lot better place if we did that, wouldn't it? But I'm preaching to the choir. I'm sure most of the older guys here, I know that. And the younger ones that are here are typically younger guys that have some fucking sense and upbringing. So, having said that, what you didn't see was one of my favorite mass builders for triceps is literally to take a huge dumbbell, throw it behind my head, and do two-handed tricep extensions. Now, I've seen rather well-known fucking bodybuilders make videos about how it's a horrible exercise, this, that. I'm here to tell you it's a fucking outstanding exercise. Typically, if I'm pulling like across the body, this rear delta is getting involvement. Now, if I lock straight up and just, sometimes I will too, and just completely try to isolate, I'm cutting out more of that rear delt, but I'm not completely getting rid of it. It's in there as a stabilizer and such. Why don't I just indulge and go ahead and bring it in? So you'll see when I do anything behind my head, like with a cable pulling down like this, hinging off that elbow for that tricep, I'll start from back here and I will pull with the rear delt first. Like this, right? I'll pull that rear delt first and then tricep. When I'm doing a big heavy dumbbell thrown up behind my head, I'm bringing shoulders in, of course, to some degree, and I don't care about that. I'm not bothered by that, right? If I turn it into a little bit of a compound movement, I don't want to turn it into so much. I don't want to turn anything that's supposedly sort of an isolation movement into such a compound movement that it destroys the value of it, and I'm better off just doing a straight up compound movement. You know, if I get to the point I'm using too much weight, I'm beyond what that target muscle can handle in and of its, you know, basically on its own as the primary mover, and it has to involve so many things secondarily that now it's become a compound movement. You understand what I'm saying? And that's not good. That's going too far, okay? So sometimes I will make a conscious effort to really specify and try to isolate more. Other times, I'm more than happy to involve those adjacent muscles. Because like I said, I believe it leads to a nice, delineated, better separated look. In this bicep workout, I start out with barbell curls, straight bar. I don't want supination. I want to pronate the wrist as much as possible. Why is the zigzag bar or curl bar easier? Because it's easier. So what do you think is better for you? Something that's easier or something that's harder? Well, something that's harder if it's not anything that's sloppy and dangerous and risky, right? I'm doing a superset. Biceps opposed to triceps. You know, they're in opposition to each other. So I'm pushing a lot of blood, flushing that muscle with blood, getting a lot of blood in that same area. So you should get an incredibly intense pump, especially if you're using L-arginine, carbolin, blah, 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 et cetera, right? Maybe some citrulline, but definitely L-arginine, carbolin. Beetroot powder, you know, these kind of things. Higher nitrate type of shit. So I do my barbell curls, and right behind that, I'll go over there and start my tricep working. And, you know, do whatever you enjoy doing. I like doing a rope thing. I like doing rope pull downs initially because it warms my elbows up really well. Gets my elbows nice and warm, just as an overabundance of caution. It works really well. That's why I've always done it. You know, and depending on how I'm doing the movement, if I'm seated, if I'm standing, you know, I may exaggerate the pull out and separation at the bottom and really squeeze. I may lean back and really squeeze. I may lean right over top of it and push down and squeeze. You know, and then all those subtle differences make a difference, a subtle difference in, you know, where I'm exactly placing the accent of that stress on those heads of those muscles, on whatever the target is. You know, if I'm seated, I may hold them together and do it, you know, to change the exercise up a little bit. So all this thing, man, you know, do what suits you. How are you going to know? Try it. Try it. You'll like it, maybe. So then I'm back and forth. Okay, so that'll be one set. I'll do a bicep exercise, tricep exercise, rest. Bicep exercise, tricep exercise, rest. So pick your favorite 3 exercises maybe. And, you know, so 6 total exercises, you know, 3 for bis, 3 for tris, you know, lump them together, supersets, and voila, voila. So I'm just gonna let the video roll. You will notice, you know, if I'm pulling across that, I am pulling with that rear delt first and coming across like that, like those bitch slap tricep extensions like I've done videos on before, you know, and that's it. No sense in me keep yammering on, is there? Let's watch the fucking video.